Existentially, I think it is a waste of space. And I feel that if you want a diet soda, you should drink flavored sparkling water like a civilized human being. But Diet Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew. Everybody in this house is either diabetic or pre diabetic, including myself. I don't think I've talked about it, but there was a time that I was over 200 pounds. That was obviously during the time that I was not making videos, but if I ever unprivate the videos where the videos during the time I was in an abusive relationship, you can see that I was gaining weight, but I wasn't that heavy yet. And it was because I had insulin resistance. Now, with an insulin resistance, it's not the same as diabetes because my pancreas is actually fine. I'm making insulin. My body is not responding to the insulin, and that can happen for people who have PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. I first heard of polycystic ovary syndrome or polycystic ovary disease when I was 19. I had the symptoms. I had the polycystic ovaries. I started getting the hair on my chin, but because I was so small, the doctor was like, eh. So I didn't really investigate it. Over the years, the hair on my chin got worse, but there was no other symptoms. I've been rail thin all my life. Obviously not now, but rail thin all my life. I got teased for it for years and years and years. It was so frustrating. I tried so hard to gain weight just to shut people up. It didn't happen. I didn't gain weight until I joined the military, and that was all through muscle. I'm 5'7". When I went into the military at 24, I was a buck 20, if that, maybe a buck 15. I went up to about buck 30, all muscle. When I started getting abused, and I reported it, and of course the military decided they didn't want to investigate it and called me crazy. They sent me to a crazy hospital and they put me on tons of medication, so I started gaining weight. And at first it wasn't bad. Okay, I gained like 10 pounds, but I was still in a healthy weight range. So, but then over time it just started creeping, and then I'm like 150 and 160. I hit about a buck 70, and then I just skyrocketed. You may not believe this, but at one point, and I'm not exaggerating, please, I literally gained about 15 pounds in about a week. I was going home to Jersey for my 30th birthday, and I was packing, and literally every day that went by, I had to take stuff out of my suitcase because it didn't fit. Every day I was gaining more and more weight, to the point where when I finally arrived in Jersey, I didn't even have any pants. I don't know what I went to the airport with. There were pants that I couldn't even get above my thighs, and I had to wear like a jacket to hide the fact. My late grandmother bought me a bunch of clothes. When I got back to my doctor, he was like, what the hell just happened? Because I was seeing him every 3 months, and like 3 months before that I was fine, and then all of a sudden I'm like 200 and something pounds, and he knew me, so he knew I wasn't like overeating or something, and he suspected that I had PCOS. So he was like, I'm gonna put you on metformin and see what happens. He put me on 500 milligrams, which is what I'm on now, and when he saw that, I'll see you back in such and such a time, and he saw that I started losing weight, so he put me on 1,000 milligrams. Weight came off like that very fast. So I dropped from about 220 pounds to 140 in a very short amount of time. Then I started having weight issues again, because anytime you lose weight that fast, I had to lower it from 1,000 milligrams to 500, because 1,000 milligrams was making me sick. Then over time, I had this funky thing. My weight started going back up again. So over like 2 years, my weight went back up. I went back up to 140, 160, which is borderline. It's not like, you don't want to be alarmed, but it's still borderline. But then I started riding my bike to and from the library, and it was summer, and the weight was just dropping, and I dropped 10 pounds, and it was crazy because everybody noticed. Like, oh my gosh, you lost weight, you look great, blah, blah, blah. I've been on the Depo shot for years, and the thing about the Depo shot is that it works by suppressing estrogen, which is all well and good, except for when you have PCOS, you usually have too much of a male hormone, which is why you get hairy faces and me with my deep voice and all that stupid crap. But anyway, she took me off the Depo shot and she put me on, it's a generic, I can't tell you what it was, and I actually lost weight. I was shocked. As a matter of fact, I lost weight so quickly that people actually got worried that I was shrinking away. Like, the children's librarian told me to go home and eat a burger. She was like, you're losing, because it was very fast and was very noticeable, like to the point where I had to go and buy new clothes, well, bottoms. But now it's a little different because she put me back on the Depo shot, which I was like, why? Because, and there was no way, I had no idea about this. She was asking me questions about my migraines. I don't know if I'm sure I had to talk about this at some point because this has been going on for like 8 years, but I started getting chronic migraines. Couldn't tell you why. Started getting migraines, and she was asking questions about my migraines, like, do I have auras, which I don't. So she asked me questions that, like, do you find yourself slurring your words, which I do when I have migraines, and she decided to take me off birth control. By this point, she had put me on a different birth control that was continuous hormones, meaning that you don't have that placebo week. I just kept taking it. Fine with me, I don't care. I don't want a period. But anyway, she switched me on Depo shot because apparently, because my migraines are atypical migraines, I have a 400% higher risk of having a stroke taking oral contraception. So she put me on Depo shot again. But things are a little different because now I take estrogen, which she might bump up a little bit, but she put me like on the lowest dose since I've never taken it before. She put me on estrogen, so that way that kind of counteracts the Depo shot suppressing my estrogen. So I'm getting estrogen. I'm on a different treatment. Now the treatment that I'm on is normal. It's not like, because I know like sometimes doctors experiment, but what I take is normal. People with PCOS usually take a contraceptive. It does help balance hormones, but my situation's a little different because of the atypical migraines, so I take the Depo shot instead of the oral contraceptive. Also, what I take now is a drug called spironolactone, which is something that helps suppress the male hormone a little bit, which is another common treatment for people who are having issues with PCOS. The last thing, which is also common for treating PCOS, is the metformin. But the awesome thing is I take a 24-hour metformin, which I didn't even know existed, and it is so much better because both she and my primary care manager, who is such a sweet old man, have been, take your metformin, but like if I don't eat well and I try to take the metformin, I end up getting sick because, my sugar goes low or something. So she was like, well, I'll give you the 24-hour one because that way you're not getting the stuff all at once. And the cool thing is it helps with my appetite too. I had a hard time eating. I can't tell you why. So this is all common. The spironolactone's common, metformin's common. The estrogen's not, but that's because I'm on the Depo shot. I don't feel any different necessarily with the estrogen, but it's still a low dose. She actually wanted to try a higher dose, but I figured we'll get to that. And I hate diet sodas. If I believed in the devil, this is a product. Diet sodas would be the product of the devil. I like Diet Mountain Dew. I have never been a fan of Mountain Dew. I never got why people like this so much. I don't like it. I like Diet Mountain Dew. This is the only diet soda that I've ever liked. I don't like Diet Pepsi, don't like Diet Coke. I think Diet Sprite is a joke. I don't know why Diet Sprite exists. Just get seltzer water. Just get sparkling water. If you want to get Diet Sprite, just get sparkling water. The only thing I could think of is maybe like for diabetics, sparkling water may not be the right way to go. I don't know. I can't from the top of my head tell you what's in sparkling water, but I mean, if you're drinking diet soda because you're actually on a diet, just drink freaking sparkling water. You're still getting something sweet. You're still freaking getting carbonation, and it's 0 calories, and it's water. Sorry, I'm such a jerk. So far, even though I'm back in a double shot, the one thing I was afraid of is I was going to gain weight. And just so you understand, this is not a vanity thing. It is a health concern because I have been very overweight and I don't want to get to the edge and again to where my weight became uncontrollable, and I don't want to have to raise my metformin dosage. I don't know why I'm making a video talking about this. I just don't think I ever talked about the weight issue. And this whole video is because I was just simply saying that I like Diet Mountain Dew. You just learned an entire you just learned an entirely big chapter of my life just because of a soda. I weigh about $143 or something, which is perfectly healthy. I don't want to weigh anything less than that. If I had to choose, okay, maybe I can tone up a little bit, but I don't really care that much because I'm, you know, I don't fuss about my body like that. But weight wise, I don't have any desire to be like 130 or god damn, I don't want to be 120 again. Like I said, that's what I was like between 110 and 120. That was just my metabolism, I guess. I could not gain weight. So I think I don't have anything else to talk about. I just don't want to go to bed. Oh gosh. I forgot to say something important. I have another channel